Hello Internet, around here I go by Cat of Diamonds and welcome to my FannishReviews. It is my a little bit behind schedule January wrap-up video, but in all honesty it's snowing outside so it feels like January and not that I'm uploading this in February. I mean, I can show you that it's snowing outside, like if you want, and I remember to add a clip like right here. But all of that aside, I'm here to talk to you about the books that I read in January, as this is my January wrap-up, and then a little bit of information at the end about my plans for the year. So the first book I finished this month was The Epic Adventures of Lizzie Bennet by Rorick and Kiley, who wrote for the show. I've left the sticker on here because I bought this at the Strand bookstore in New York. I went there for New Year's and to go see Spring Awakening, so this is the book that I knew that I was going to keep if I bought it at a store in New York, and I started reading it on the plane-ish home and then finished it when I got back to Colorado. It is such a cute novelization of Lydia Bennet's life after the Lizzie Bennet Diary web series ends. You want more for her at the end of the web series, so this book is that. And if you are a fan of that web series, I think you would totally love this. I don't know if you are just a fan of Pride and Prejudice that you would love this as much, but it is so cute and adorable, and I'm so glad I'll be keeping it forever. It was a very solid choice to purchase. The next book I finished this January was The Bone Season by Samantha Shannon, and I started this months ago. It was in my Goodreads, currently reading it for quite a while. I read this in about 3 or 4, actually 5 sittings, and a good 3 out of 5 of those sittings were in the bath, where I was in the bath so long reading. I mean, it's a big book and it is a little bit like you have to take it slower. It's the future of our fictional history. It's set in London, and it is the idea that there are these aliens here protecting us from other aliens, and in order to protect us, they help the current society. Any humans with any telepathic or extra powers of outside the norm 5 senses are rounded up and every 10 years sent to this camp where these aliens turn them into either battle slaves or regular slaves or kill them or stuff. It is a very intense world, and it is centered around Paige Mahoney, and she is so much fun to read. As much as I wanted to finish this book, you have so much terminology that is thrown at you from this universe that it is kind of a slower read, but I really enjoyed reading it. And if you like anything that I've mentioned in the very convoluted attempt to explain it, I think you'll enjoy reading this too. The next book I finally finished in January was My Drunk Kitchen, A Guide to Eating, Drinking, and Going with Your Gut by Hart. I definitely started this in summer, just to pick up and browse through and be a coffee table read. And then since it had been on the coffee table downstairs for, more than half of the year, because it kept on living down there, I knew that I needed to hurry up and finish it. I actually didn't enjoy this as much as I expected to. It's not really a cookbook, but it was, there's just something, I thought it was cute, but it just isn't for me, I guess. The next book I read this month was a 5 out of 5 stars, 10 out of 10. Would recommend. Absolutely wonderful. Illuminae, The Illuminae Files, Book 1 by Amie, Kaufman, and Kristoff. I think the reason I took so long to film this is because I want to do an individual review, absolutely, and so it's not done yet. That review is not done yet because I'm still trying to form in my mind the best way to review this book, but it's so cool looking that this is one that I think you can judge the book by its cover. It is about so much that I can't even get into it, really. But the whole book is put together like a dossier. I really, really intend in my next week or so to film an actual individual review of this book. The first of this year is an individual review, and probably the first in like 10 months. And the last book I read in January was actually a surprise to me. I didn't actually expect to start it in January. It's right here on my Kindle. It's teeny tiny, but it is The Prophecy of Shadows, The Elementals, Book 1 by Madow, who, as you know if you've been subscribed for a while, is a friend of the internets of mine. And I'm very proud of all her work, and this book was absolutely the same, or at least my attitude in reading this book has been the same as all of her other books. It was so much fun to read. She always writes a wonderful and adventurous tale. The Elementals series is a combination of Greek mythology and magic, and the applications of magic in the world that we live in. I do also plan on doing a review of this book as its own individual review. It'll either come before Illuminae or after, I'm not quite sure. However, it was a very quick and fun read. It centers around this girl, Nicole Cassidy, who moves to a new town during her sophomore year, and her first day of school she discovers that witchcraft is real and she's probably a witch, and then has to kind of figure out whether she believes that or not, and then decide like if destiny is a thing and if she's going to, you know, do something about it. It has been marketed to fans of the Percy Jackson series, but I actually have not read the Percy Jackson series, and I don't plan to, so hopefully you don't unsubscribe from me or decide not to subscribe to me for that statement. The Prophecy of Shadows is actually self-published by Michelle, which means we get the second book, which I think is called The Blood of the Hydra, in April, which is my birthday month of this year, so I don't even have to wait for the rest of the story. So how do you show off a book that you've read in this stack of reads when it's been on your phone? I don't really know. Do this? Does that work for you? These are the books that I read in January. And then a little housekeeping for the end of the video. As I discussed earlier in this video, I do plan on including more individual reviews this year. I also have been working and filming a secret project for the last 6 to 8 months. I don't remember how long ago I started. I am going to be filming the trailer for that and launching that in a few weeks. Finally, this project, like, it's been weighing on my excitement to share and start getting out there, and I wanted to do it in January, and January was crazy. I was so behind, so my cheeks hurt from smiling. So until my next video, whichever one of the ones that I've mentioned it is, happy reading.